a lot of people actually think that the TPA is the administrator, and I actually don't agree. Can you jump in and explain a little bit more about that? And further to that, can you tell us who's a fiduciary and the responsibilities of fiduciary?
Bonnie, those are great questions. You know, it's not uncommon that most clients or most plan sponsors out there, when they look at their TPA, third-party administrator, you know, and they say, oh, you know, who's the administrator of my plan? Well, it's my TPA. So I want to distinguish between a TPA, right, plan administrator, and an ERISA fiduciary, an ERISA 316 plan administrator. So an ERISA 316 plan administrator has certain obligations to act in the best interest of plan participants, to make sure that the plan is defined and laid out in the plan document, and to make sure that the operations of the plan are in compliance with the law as well as the plan document. So, you know, if you ask a typical plan sponsor who's the fiduciary in their organization, they might kind of say, well, it's my TPA, you know, the plan administrator. Well, no. The reality is the employer, you know, some or all, or some or many of the senior folks at most employers are fiduciaries of the plan. So this could be anyone from a CEO of a company to a CFO to maybe the head of HR, human resources at various companies. They're all individuals who have an integral role, typically in the management, oversight, and duty and obligation of taking care of participants in their qualified plans. So again, a big question clients have is who's the fiduciary? You know, they don't necessarily know who the individuals are who are the fiduciaries of their own plan. And the problem with that is if you don't really know who is the fiduciary, I'm not sure they can actually do the appropriate job in terms of overseeing and monitoring the plan. So again, and by the way, it's not uncommon for a board of directors to also be considered a fiduciary of the program. So, you know, clearly understanding who's got the role and who's got the obligation and the duty to act is critical. And that's, you know, kind of our forte in the business. We've been acting as fiduciary on all of our programs since 1943. So we live and breathe, and it's kind of built into the fabric here at Pentegra as to what we do in terms of fulfilling fiduciary obligations for our clients.
What we've seen lately in the industry is an increased vigilance by the Department of Labor with respect to identification of roles, and what we've learned, quite simply, is that if the DOL sees that it's not in writing, then their presumption is it never happened. So they're more looking for the plan sponsor, with the help of the advisors and the firms that they're outsourcing some accountabilities to have a clear, distinct process, fully outlined and maintained.
And written too.
I would agree with that. I would agree.
Yeah.